Which looks better, this effect or this effect? Welcome back to Creator Reality, my friend. I'm John, and today I'm going to show you how to maintain the texture of something you're overlaying with, well, something else. In our case, it happens to be a video clip, and it's going to get a little bit more complicated, but I'll walk you through step by step. So let's dive into DaVinci Resolve, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here you can see the first clip where we've got our animation sitting on top of my t-shirt. I thought it was a good idea to put a subscribe animation there, so I did. Well, in our second clip, and I've set up markers here so that it's the same frame. If you want to see more on markers, I've got a video up here for that. Go check that out when you're done here. I have the same frame on the same clip, but you notice it's got the t-shirt texture in there. How cool is that? And before I even get started, all of this should work in the free version of DaVinci Resolve, and it'll work with planar trackers, regular trackers, and in our case, the surface tracker. Now, to build this effect, I've got our original clip and I've got the subscribe animation over top of it. You'll notice it's not transparent, nor does it go the full length of the clip that we're going to be tracking. So we need to do something a little bit different. We need to start by making a duplicate of this clip. So with my clip selected, I'm going to hold Alt and drag, and there, we've got a duplicate of the whole clip. Then I'm going to right click on it and choose New Fusion Clip. This just makes things a little bit easier in the Fusion page. Just go with it. Then I'm going to click on the Fusion icon down here, and it will open up in Fusion. We have our Media In 1. If I press my 1 key, it shows up right here in the left viewer, and Media Out 1 has the right dot selected, so it'll show up in the right viewer. If you don't see two viewers, you need to click on this little button over here, and mine is not quite visible. So I'm going to drag this over a little bit, that little icon, and now you can see the icon for switching between viewers. So we have dual viewer and single viewer. We want the dual viewer for this, and we've got our Media In 1. Well, the first thing we need to do is track this. So I'm going to click in my timeline right here in the middle. This is where the shirt is, and if you drag back and forth, in my case, this is where it's just about most visible. So I'm going to click on Media In 1, and we're at frame 186. I'm going to hold Shift Spacebar, and I'm going to type in Surface Tracker, or Surf. There's our Surface Tracker. Click Add. And in the Surface Tracker controls, if you don't see that, you need to open your inspector by clicking on Inspector. We're on bounds. So we need to draw the bounds of this, and that is as easy as creating a bunch of dots. And we're just going to create it about like that. Maybe I'll move this one over a little bit. And then we need to go to Mesh. And for every time I use Surface Tracker, it's the same settings. Drag the point number limit all the way to the maximum. Drag the minimum point spacing all the way to the minimum. You notice it creates a whole bunch of dots in the middle. These are all tracking points. You can regenerate mesh if you need to, but it works pretty well as is. Then we need to go over to Track. And I'm going to choose Track Forward and Backward. And then you let that run. Depending on the speed of your computer and the length of the clip that you're tracking, it could take a few seconds, it could take a few minutes, but once it's done, you should have a series of white dots along your timeline here. Notice that mine didn't finish tracking at the beginning, and that's okay. We want this effect to be towards the middle of the clip. So again, I'm going to go to about frame 186, there it is, and we need to drag in our subscribe animation. So I'm going to click on my media pool, and I've already got it added to my media pool, so I'm going to drag it in here, and by default you can click on it and drag it in, and it doesn't look right at all, does it? So we're going to disconnect that for now, and with Media In 2 selected, Shift Spacebar, and we need D keyer, so D key, 3D keyer, click Add, and you see the D keyer 1 node is there. Click the 1 key, brings it in the left viewer, and we're going to click on our eyedropper and drag a line across the top here. Next thing we need to do is drag D-Spill all the way to 1. That's good. Your mileage may vary on that one, but tinker around with it till you get rid of any kind of greenish or whatever else was in the background. Now if I drag this in, hey look, it's transparent. That's pretty close, right? Almost. But now we need two different transforms. The first one is going to change the size, and the second one is going to give us the right perspective. So with D keyer 1 selected, Shift Spacebar, type in Transform or Trans, and the Transform XF is the one we want. Click Add, and we'll bring it up here. and then we're going to change our size. We're going to bring it down to about 0.6 in this case. Depending on what you're tracking, you will have to change this number. With Transform 1 still selected, shift spacebar and type in Transform again, but we need the second one with no XF. And Resolve, I clicked on it, doesn't want to select it. Now it's selected, now click Add. We'll drag that one up to match, and you'll notice the controls are different. So we want to change control mode from sliders to interactive canvas, and then we can change our perspective. And while you're doing this, you always want to make sure you're not clipping the bounds of your original surface tracker. If you click on the surface tracker node, you'll see that it's getting clipped right here. So we'll go back to Transform 2 and we'll make that a little bit bigger. And now it should look pretty much right. And we can scrub through the footage. And yeah, that looks pretty right. Maybe we'll make a little bit of a tweak and bring it up a little bit. There we go. Now it's centered on my back. It looks really good, except it started at the beginning of the clip and ends well before the clip ends. So the first thing we need to do is move where this clip is in relation to our master clip. So I'm going to select Media in 2, and if I drag along in here, it starts early and it ends there. I want it to end more like right about there. We're on frame 289. And I can drag this global in out in my inspector, and I can just drag the center till it's at like 289, right about there, right? Ta-da, pretty close. And now it ends right there, but it starts back here. How cool is that? Isn't that neat? And we could have done that all in the one transform, but having two just makes it a little bit easier. Now, to get that texture back in the shirt, we need another node. So I'm going to click in blank space, shift spacebar, and type in bright. We get brightness contrast. We'll click add, and then we connect the output of media in 1 to the yellow input of brightness contrast 1. Press your 1 key to bring it up in the left viewer. It says brightness contrast 1 over here. Good, good, good. And then in our inspector, we have all these controls. Well, we need to bring our saturation all the way down to make it black and white, and then bring our brightness down to or up to about 0.5, and you can also change the contrast all the way up to 1. So I'm going to adjust these slightly, and nothing's changed over here because we need to connect the output of brightness contrast 1 to the mask input, the blue one, on surface tracker 1. Click on surface tracker 1 and go into the settings tab and change the channel from alpha to luminance. Now you notice we have our texture back, and we can continue to change these values until we get exactly the effect we're looking for. If your brightness is at 0 or thereabouts, then it'll look really faded, and if it's at 1, it's like nothing happened at all. So again, I want about 0.5 on this. It'll keep the texture of the shirt through the animation. Now when we come back to our edit page and we play this back, you'll see that the subscribe animation shows up on my shirt, nice and easy. And there it is. Voila. Isn't that pretty cool? So there you have it. You now have a quick way of bringing the texture back into basically anything. It'll work with painted on text on roads, or in this case, a subscribe animation tracked to the surface of a shirt, hat, whatever you got. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Anyway, I hope this video was very helpful. I do thank you for watching. If you have a question about DaVinci Resolve, drop it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And I'll see you over here in one of my other videos where you're bound to learn something about Resolve. John out.